Darkness swallowed everything. Raza's chest heaved in the pitch-black room, his fingers trembling as they clawed at empty air. The last image burned into his mind was the figure's twisted grin, its hollow eyes fixed on him as the light shattered. Now there was nothing. No light, no sound, just his own ragged breathing. But slowly, faintly, the whispers returned. Not outside the door, not in the corridor, inside the room. Stay with us. You opened the door. Now you can't leave. Raza stumbled backward until his shoulders hit the wall. His hands searched desperately for the knob, but the wall was smooth, seamless, as though the door had never existed. His stomach twisted in terror. He was trapped. Suddenly, the silence cracked. A sharp scratching sound tore through the dark, nails on wood, nails dragging across walls and floor. The sound grew louder, multiplied, until it surrounded him from every direction. His breath hitched. He crouched low, covering his ears, but it didn't help. The scratches seemed to echo inside his skull. Then, light. Not bright, but dim, flickering, as though someone had lit candles hidden in the corners of the room. Raza lifted his head slowly. His blood ran cold. The walls were no longer bare. They were covered in hands. Dozens, hundreds of them, bloody, ghostly imprints reaching out, clawing, scratching, forever frozen in desperation. The floor was scarred with deep grooves, like prisoners had tried digging their way out with their own fingernails. Raza's chest tightened. He stumbled forward, his eyes darting wildly. That's when he saw them. Figures. Not just one, but many. Men, women, children, shadows of people. Pale and hollow-eyed, their bodies flickering like smoke. They stood in the corners, lined against the walls, crouched on the floor, watching him. Everywhere he looked, eyes. Empty, lifeless eyes. He stumbled back, shaking his head. No, this isn't real. This isn't real. But one of them stepped forward. A woman with long, tangled hair, her face half-rotted, eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. Her voice echoed like broken glass. You opened the door. Now you are one of us. The others moved with her, slow, deliberate, their bodies creaking as if bones were breaking with every step. Raza's trust tightened. He pressed his back against the wall, desperate to sink into it, to vanish. His chest rose and fell rapidly, panic clawing at his lungs. No, I didn't mean to. I just wanted to know, he cried. The whispers swelled, the voices overlapping until they were deafening. We all wanted to know. We all opened it. And now we belong here. The air grew heavier, pressing down on him like invisible hands, his vision blurred, his body trembling violently. Then, in the corner of the room, the original figure, the one from the chair, rose again. Taller than the others, its face hidden in shadow, its grin wider, sharper. It stepped forward, and the others parted like obedient servants. Raza froze, paralyzed. The figure leaned close, its presence suffocating, its voice a low rumble that vibrated in his bones. You can't leave. Raza shook his head violently, his voice breaking. There has to be a way. There has to. The figure raised one long skeletal hand and pointed to the walls. Raza turned his head and saw them. Bodies. Not shadows, not ghosts. Real bodies, dried and mummified, wedged into the walls, half merged with the rotting wood. Their mouths were open in internal screams, their fingers forever clawing outward. His stomach churned, his knees gave way beneath him. The figure whispered again. They thought the same. They begged for escape. They begged for mercy. And now, they are part of the room. Raza's chest tightened as nausea rose in his throat. His mind screamed at him to fight, to run, to do anything, but his body felt heavy, pulled down by the weight of the whispers. The shadows closed in around him. Cold hands brushed against his arms, his legs, his face. He jerked back, but more hands reached from behind, gripping him tight. He screamed, thrashing wildly, but the more he struggled, the colder their grip became, draining his strength, pulling him closer to the walls. No, please, let me go! His voice cracked, desperate, raw. But the whispers answered only with one phrase, repeated over and over, a chorus of doom. You belong here. You belong here. You belong here. Raza's body was pressed against the wall now, his nails scratched at the wood, his fingers bleeding as he clawed desperately for escape. The same desperate grooves carved by countless others before him. The figure leaned closer, its grin inches from his face. You will never leave. You will never be found. You are ours now. Raza's scream ripped through the room. The shadow swallowed him whole, pulling him into the darkness. The last thing he felt was the wood against his back splitting open, cold and wet, like a mouth swallowing him alive. And then, silence. The next morning, the landlord walked down the corridor, his cane tapping against the floor. He paused in front of the last door, his face expressionless. The lock lay broken on the ground. The door was shut, but the faintest sound could be heard behind it. Scratching. He sighed, bent down, and placed a brand new lock on the door. Another one. He muttered under his breath. With a heavy heart, he turned and walked away.